Productions, the Cultural Preservation Station. Tune in. Hey, yo. Black education, cultural preservation, killer BTV, because elevation. Tune into the station, we rockin' the whole nation. That's right, we rockin' the whole nation. Stay tuned. For mental activation, killer BTV's the new sensation. Stop the hesitation and learn something new. My girl Taylor B's here to show and prove. Terrorist shit.
All right. Peace and power, people. Peace and power to the family. We are here tonight on Cultural Reflections. This is episode 6. I'm your girl, Taylor B, the queen that keeps it a bean. And I got a very, very special show for y'all tonight. I'm very honored to have Born Divine on our show. Born Divine, a.k.a. Davinci, the killer bee. So we're going to get him joined in as soon as he gets on here. Peace, Old Dirty Panda. Peace, King Track Star, and Heather Lamone. Peace to all y'all that joined in the audience. Stay tuned. We're going to get into it with the God. We're going to bust it up with him. But for now, thank you for being here. Peace and power. Kings and queens up to y'all. Welcome to episode 6. I want to let everybody know that if you're watching, make sure you share the video, send it to somebody, DM it to a friend. You know what I'm saying? Share the love. And that's that. So also make sure you guys are tuned in with me for Because for Kids. That's our school drive that we have currently going on. We're going to be delivering the book bags to the kids on August 13th at the 50th celebration for hip hop in Trenton, New Jersey. So if y'all want to come out to that, that's going to be a dope event. That whole weekend is going to be lit for hip hop. We know it's hip hop's 50th birthday coming up. So, get prepared for that weekend. Going in starting August 11th through the 12th through the 13th, that whole weekend's going to be lit. There's a lot of different things going on in the city, in New York, and different in Jersey and Philly too. So there's different things going on. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. And while we're waiting for Born to come on, I want to make sure y'all guys know what Because is. Because for Kids is being engaged early. That creates an active, unified, safe environment for kids. So we have raised and got 75 book bags, which we exceeded the goal. We started late this year, so we did exceed our goal, and I'm very proud that we're going to be supplying 75 book bags for 75 kids. And we also have other various supplies that we have collected along the way from people that I have just collected, picking up while I'm at the store. I always pick something up, and so we're going to be giving that stuff out at the 50th hip hop anniversary. And there's no better time to really do that than to do it at the 50th hip hop anniversary. So make sure you come out and support that. Make sure you're supporting Because for Kids. You can support in many different ways. You can donate. You can also You can also be a part of our Queens and Kings Up network. And if you want to do that, just reach out to me and I'll let you know what that's about. But we're getting all of that off the ground and I'm super excited for all that. So make sure you guys are tuned in with me on this page, on my Cultural Preservationist page, and my Saving Bees Fashions page. Okay, so make sure you guys go follow that. Make sure y'all follow Born. I'm waiting for him to come on the live and we're going to get started. Also, let me see what else we have going on. We're going to get into Cultural Reflections. And you know what that is, right? You know what Kings and Queens Up culture is. You know I'm Teller Bay, the queen, and I'm always coming up with different ways to empower our people, empower the culture. So, we have a motto that we made for Kings and Queens Up culture, and that's Kings and Queens understand the power that they possess to set the bar. That's your balanced ability to respond with rules. That's respect, upliftment, love, and empowerment, and support with how you interact with yourself, your family, and then your community. And that puts a positive, useful transformative change back into the culture is what we need. So that's what Kings and Queens Up culture is. If you guys don't know what that is, that's what that is. That's what I'm about over here at BTV, Black Education Empowers. And that's it. We gonna get it. It won't let me share. I wonder why. I don't think my page is private. So It doesn't let you share it like in a DM. I don't know why. So we're just waiting for Born to come on. And while we're doing that, we're just gonna sit here and chill with the people. I see the God, he is tapped in. So this is what I like to do on here before the get when the guest comes on, as soon as he comes on, I'm gonna just go ahead and start reading his bio. I'm super excited to have him on. Thank you so much for being here. Peace Wu Wade. Peace Wu Tang Radio. Peace Ron. Rug the Draper. Peace to you. Thank y'all for tuning in. We about to get Born on. Born, request to join the live, bro. And then we could get this started, get this party started. How y'all like my theme music too? Did y'all hear the theme music when it came on? Y'all know my boy Don Pacino did the theme music for the show. So make sure you go check him out. He has a new album out right now. War is Never Pretty. Don Pacino Bandcamp. Go check my bro out. Thank him for blessing me with my theme music. Peace, Shamika Bottom. Thank you for joining, Queen. Good to have you here. Killer Bees on a Swarm. We out here. Born, you got a request to join the live, because otherwise I don't think I can pull you on. Let me see. Let me do that. Oh, here we go. Teller B Technical TV in full effect.
Battery's about to die though.
Peace, God.
Peace.
How are you?
Peace. I'm doing good. Good.
Good. Let me get into this before we get started, God. I'm gonna read your bio. This is how we start the show off.
For sure.
Let's do it. And we're gonna get into it, right? In full effect. We're gonna have to turn down whatever that is, bro.
Yeah, it's down.
Okay. All right. Word. All right. We about to get into this. Peace, everybody that just joining live. All right, let's get into it. Since the beginning of his independent music career, Born Divine, better known as Davinci, has been regarded as a true MC in the hip-hop scene. After making his debut on the Capitalized Project and the Transition Volume 1 mixtape, he published his underground album, The Better Life Movement, featuring Capadonna, which subsequently became the name of Born Divine and Capadonna's company as they grew into business partners. After 4 years of touring the country with Capadonna and the entire clan, he went on to release his own albums, including I Self Lord and Master mixtape and Born in the Game featuring Little Melvin, Baltimore's American Gangster. Flow Trafficking featuring Capadonna and Ty Nitty, Wu-Tang and Infamous Mob, The Movement, Mixed CD, and The Movement. In 2012, he signed 3 indie deals as an artist and a businessman, including a production deal with the Crates out of Germany to write and record the Black Diamonds album, which he then signed a 50-50 deal distribution with Protect Your Neck Records, Wu-Tang Management to release worldwide. And he signed his first major business deal with McDonald Music Group out of Las Vegas to start his own indie artist development, digital distribution, and social media marketing platform called Indie Boom. Boom. Word.
Salute. I
Word.
appreciate
Fly
that.
shit, God. Fly shit. That's fly
appreciate
shit right there. Peace to you. Salute.
Peace.
Peace. How
I'm
you
grateful.
feeling tonight?
Very grateful. You know?
Yeah.
Very, very grateful. You know, it's been a long time coming for us to do an interview, so it's an honor.
Absolutely. You know we go way back, so you
Absolutely.
already know that. You know that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's less to be said. You know it's a family affair. We already know we on the swarm. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So salute to that. And
Absolutely.
so thank you. I want to thank you for being here though too, because like you said, we've been trying to get this together for a while now. And I've been going through some transitions with my shows where they haven't really been independent, like shows where I'm just interviewing one person. So, this is just perfect timing. The universe always does things the way it needs to do it in perfect timing. So I'm grateful and I'm honored to have you here on my show. I think of you as a brother to me, and I love everything you do. I love your independent entrepreneurial mindset. So, I always salute a king doing his thing, and that's a king's up from over here. That's king understanding his power and he's setting the bar to rule his kingdom,
Bless.
and you know, spread that throughout the community, and that's what we about over here.
Indeed, indeed. Bless. Same to you. You know, I always watch your movement and how you been building. It's constantly building.
Absolutely.
You built it up, though. I'm proud of you. Word.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get into it. Break your name down for us, because I always start there. And I know you're a God, and I know, we into our names, and in hip hop, our names mean a lot. So Born Divine, aka Davinci, break that down and the inspiration for it.
So Born Divine, that's my attribute, but that's not even my whole attribute. A lot of people don't know that my original attribute is conscious, born divine, God Allah. So conscious because, of course, the level of consciousness that I was able to achieve in mastering 120, the Moorish 101s, the Moorish Circle 7, the Injil, which is the gospel, the Quran, and mastering certain parts of the Arabic. At that time of my life, I was a sponge because I came into the knowledge at 19 years old. So being eager to learn, I was eager to learn everything and anything I could learn when it came to Islam. So in the Moorish Science Temple of America is Rauf Bey, and in Sunni community it's Abdul Rauf, you know what I mean? Nation of Islam, it was Darnell 3X, you know what I'm saying? Until I legally had my name changed. My name legally is Rauf Born Divine Bey.
Dope.
So born, means complete or to be in the supreme math. It's also the number 9, which I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm ruled by the 9th planet, the 9th house, which is Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? I was born on the 27th. 2 and 7 is 9.
A 9 person too.
You
Damn.
feel me? When me and Cap met, he was 30. He was turning 36.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? 3 and 6, 9. It was the 9th anniversary of the May Man March, 9.
Oh,
then,
9.
Then he's the 9th month, September, birthday the 18th, 9 again.
He's a
so
9.
I ride that 9 real heavy.
Yeah.
And then divine means the highest. It also means of a spiritual source. So Born Divine, that's the breakdown. Now the AKA Davinci is because Davinci was not just an artist, he was an engineer. You know what I mean? So I always consider myself more than an artist because I do business. You know what I mean? I solve problems. I'm a problem solver, so that's an engineer. You know what I mean? I consciously engineer things to complete the cipher on the highest level. That's the all in all inspiration to my attributes.
That's beautiful, God. That's lovely. I love that breakdown. I love that. That's dope.
It's P.
And it's dope that y'all got the 9s in common. And of course, we know the Wu-Tang is connected with the 9.
There are 36 chambers.
Saying the 36 chambers, and all that. So it's just, like we were just saying earlier, it's the universe that brings all of this together. So when you working on the same frequency, you're going to find that tribe, and you're going to find them people that you on that same frequency with.
That's right.
And that's the way that I look at the Wu-Tang family. You know what I'm saying? At the main 9, and then, the offshoots and their affiliates, and, down to all the Killer Bees, all the Wu-Tang family. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
It's that frequency of love and that frequency of knowledge that brings all of us together. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah, that's what I think too. So
Absolutely.
talk about growing up in Baltimore and all that. Talk about growing up out there. How was you growing up out there, and what was kind of the hip hop influence for you out there?
In Baltimore, it's a different place, man. It's like half of the city is catered towards the north, the other half of the city is catered towards the south. So you got a heavy southern influence because a lot of our ancestors and grandparents moved up from the south. And then the other side, some of our ancestors moved down from New York, New Jersey. I got family all up through New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, all the way down to the Floridas. So we're very Native American and West African. So a lot of influence, a lot of cultural influence, Gullah Geechee, You know, that's our family heritage in Cherokee. So, you know, growing up in Baltimore was a trial and a tribulation in itself because it's one of the most deadliest cities on the planet. You know, so every day is a crapshoot. As soon as you walk out the door, you know, growing up through the 80s and the 90s, it was just like that. You know what I mean? And you had to be aggressive, you know, at every turn of the road, because every time you turned the corner, there was aggression coming at you. So during that time, as far as childhood, you know, if you survived to make it this far, it wasn't by luck or happenstance. It's because you did what was needed to do to get this far. You know, so it was definitely a learning experience at how to survive in the jungle. You know, that's for sure.
And I think a lot of times, I mean, you know, what you just said, it still relates to today and the way that the hood is today, and the way people have to kind of really survive daily. You know,
Yeah,
every day's a daily survival, and you're looking for, you know, some people are looking for their next meal, you know, things like that. Some
yeah,
people ain't safe, they go right out the door and there's beef on, you know, right at the doorstep. So it's definitely, you know, something to be said about how you move.
yeah,
um and the ones that you see that's not here no more, you know, not saying they wasn't definitely moving correct, but you know, something's off point, you know,
yeah,
something got off. You made some decisions at some point where it got you in a jam to be in that jam, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's always a like I said, it's a crapshoot a lot of times. You know, but as far as Baltimore, the thing that makes Baltimore such a dangerous place is because it's a small city. And then to top it all off, there's no identification of who's who when it comes to, you know, violence, because it could be somebody you know what I mean. Like that's the petty part about Baltimore, is that it's a very petty place where you can get killed over the smallest thing that anywhere else in the world wouldn't even be that heavy. You know, looking at somebody is not a reason to kill somebody. Stepping on a shoe is not even a reason. But it was going on like that heavy. And then being from another place, you could have been visiting your family. And you're not from around here,
You got
breaking into
caught up.
anything. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like that most places these
Yeah, I was
days.
gonna say that. It's like that here. It's like that in Jersey. Like it's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that everywhere. Like
Yeah, Jersey.
every hood
Jersey.
USA. You know,
Right.
any hood USA. You know, so definitely is a struggle, and it definitely, obviously, you know, that's really what hip hop was kind of born of that struggle, born of
Yeah.
racism and being in the street. You know, and having to survive and dealing with that atmosphere.
Yeah.
So let's get into to how, like, when did you start making music, and just like when did you start, like at what age did you really know that that's what you wanted to do, and you gonna go ahead and get serious with it?
I mean, I always knew that I wanted to do music. Like always. Like growing up, I was my uncles had a band growing up. So in the basement there was drums, there was guitars, there was congas, there was, you know, my uncles were very, very sharp on the music tip. Like they played local venues, and they was doing Parliament Funkadelic covers, and they was doing Prince covers and Michael Jackson covers, and you know, they kind of wanted to almost be like the Jackson 5. My uncle, Mr. Music Wright, I mean, they called him Mr. Music Melvin Wright. And it's funny, their band was called the Sagittarians. Funny, I got a picture. I literally got a picture of them with the butterfly collars and the bell bottoms on the stage and everything. And that's one of my favorite memories of growing up. And then my youngest uncle, he came home, I guess it was probably around like 83 maybe. And he had started DJing, doing little house parties and little club gigs, because he was a chef too. Like he would cook, but then he was always looking for more work. So he started DJing at the place that he was working at. So he would work during the day in the kitchen and then come home, change clothes, go back to work, and would DJ parties.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, like 83, 84, somewhere around there, he came home and had hip hop records. I didn't really know what was going on. I was, just running around messing with things.
Yeah.
And I heard Run DMC, you know what I mean? LL Cool J.
Uh-huh.
Once I started putting on the records on my own, then I started catching on to the hip hop situation, and from that point, always was in love with hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Before that though, I was singing in church. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Mom took me to church, a little choir stuff. You know what I mean? Singing background every now and then, sing a little lead. So I could sing better when I was young. I can't sing now. Don't.
That's all the smoking we did.
You know what I'm saying? I could hold a note here and there, but I ain't no singer. But so that's when. But I didn't get serious about music until late '90s, like right around '96. I actually recorded a song that I wrote originally. Before that, I did some talent shows with some friends of mine, rapping. But back then, I didn't even know how to write. I just was, I get on stage. I just get on stage and freestyle, and it was a show.
Yeah.
So, that's I got serious in about '96. Wrote my first song, like real, write it and lay it down, and then after that, came the trials and tribulations of life. I went from high school graduation to getting locked up. So after that, I was locked up, and what started as 18 months turned into 4 years. Yeah, started as 18 months, then I got into an in-house situation, and then it turned into an extra 3 years on top of the 18 months running, consecutive. So
they stay taking our time from us, don't they?
Yeah, because they know that time is your most valuable asset. You can't get that back. You know what I mean? So I didn't come uptown until I was about 23. So at that point, during that time frame, that's when I really started taking music serious because, I was given, I had a cellie that was like 30 years old, and I was 19, just turning 20. And he was like, yo, what you gonna do when you get uptown? I said, man, I'm gonna go hustle. What you mean what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get back on the horse. He said, what's the difference between a drug dealer and a hustler? I said, man, come on, man, stop it. He's like, nah, man, a hustler can sell anything. He said, if you're smart, you'll take them skills and you'll go out and you'll turn your rap into your new hustle. And that big shout out to OG Slick One out of Boston, Massachusetts, out of the Bean, New Boston and all of that. He was a clothing designer. He did arts, you know what I mean, like designing things, drawing portraits. He was a sharp one too, And I used to battle dudes for commissary. Like put your commissary up.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? We in the courtyard battling, you know what I mean, from different units. Take a whole table full of commissary and go back to the cell like, yeah, we eating good tonight, But I really used to get it in because a lot of dudes was writing their material at that time. And back then I really wasn't a writer like that. Like I don't write every day now. I'm just not, I never sit down and write a whole song in a day. I got too many other things going on. So I used to freestyle. That's all. That was my main thing. I'm going to come off the top. I'm going to make it up as I'm going on, the cup, the tree, the dashboard, And
to me, that's more talented, though. That shows more skills and more talent.
Well, it's a craft, And I used to do it a lot when I was younger. I've slowed down a lot on that because when you start writing all of these songs, it's like all of the ideas that you used to have is all on paper now and a song now.
Right.
I got into the flow of the 16 bar, 8 bar hook.
Yeah.
So now it's a lot different, but yeah, it's been a come up. It's been a grind.
What's up? That's what's up. So let's get into it. Let's get into this Wu-Tang business here. Let's get in family business.
Wu-Tang business. Yeah.
Business. Tell everyone how you hooked up with Cap. I know Cap's from the Baltimore area, so tell everybody how you hooked up with Cap, and what was touring like with the Wu. So talk about that.
Hooking up with Cap was by happenstance. I was in the Nation of Islam. I was, trying to keep my mind right and stay on the path so that I don't be a repeat offender going back and forth to the joint. And I was selling final calls during the time when I think Bush was running for office. So one particular day I wasn't out on the corner that I'm normally on, and my business partner and brother Kareem Allah was out there. Me and him was normally out there together, but he was out there by himself. I think it was election day, I think, or voting day or something. And Cap came through in the big Escalade, or the big Cadillac truck, and pulled up on the corner, got a final call in the bean pot from him, and they traded numbers. So Cap had asked Kareem, I think they had hooked up a couple other times outside of that after, they traded numbers. And he was like, yo, I'm looking for one of the brothers to teach me how to make salat in Arabic. So he kept telling Cap about me, like, yo, brother 3X, you the God born divine, you need to get with him. And so the 9th anniversary come around, Cap came to the mosque number 6.
I had to make those beats play for that.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Mosque number 6, Minister Carlos Muhammad and everybody. So that was the foundation. When Cap came out of the mosque that day, Brother Kareem Allah introduced him to me.
Okay.
And when he introduced him to me, me and Cap traded information, and me and Kareem Allah had a clothing store at the time on Greenmount Avenue. Cap and Rush had a clothing store up on Harford Road. So it's like when we linked up, it was so much going on all at one time. I would link up with him at his store. He would come through at my store. We would just kick it. But the main thing is we wasn't even talking about music. We was making salat, you know what I'm saying? Maybe hit the weights, hit the gym, work out, chop it up, go kick it, go to the Chinese joint, get the little broccoli with the brown sauce with the vegetable fried rice. We was just kicking it. And then one day I just was like, yo, check my CD out. And I gave him, I had a 5-song CD pressed up. I was already selling it out the store, and the name of the project was the Better Life Movement.
Okay.
So he listened to it. He liked what he heard. And then he wanted me to do something in the studio one day. So I go to the studio, but I was only supposed to do like an intro. But then they was, checking my levels and playing the beat, and I started rapping. And he was like, yo, is that freestyle? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, you got something written to go to this? And I was like, yeah, I got something in the cabinet. So he was like, he was like, spit it. So I spit one. I threw my dart, and maybe like 2 weeks later, I think he went up to Staten Island, came back like 2 weeks later and was like, yo, I wanna put you on this project, you know what I'm saying? And if you're interested, why don't you come on and hype man for me? Couple gigs. Yeah. And we did that. And then from there, it's like after a while, it started turning into a roller coaster. Like I was all over the place, and I ain't had time to work the store no more. Like my partners is mad at me. I'm on the road now all of a sudden. And then the Rock the Bells tour came around. That was my first big tour, and that was the first time I've been on the road with the whole clan. And
what year was that?
I think that was like 2007, 2008. I was on the Rock the Bells tour one of them years with the whole mob. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But touring with the clan was an experience, man. It was a life-changing experience for real. It was a career turning point at the same time. You know, it was one of the moments where, you know, I wasn't performing, but you got to see them in action from behind the scenes.
Right.
It's a lot different when you looking from behind the scenes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Way different. And it's a lot different when you on the same tour bus.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I can imagine the stories and the things that
Man.
going on.
It's been an experience. I mean,
Yeah.
and, you know, I wouldn't take none of it back. I think all of it and all helped me grow as an artist.
Absolutely.
But mainly as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's
what's more important, and that's what's even more important to the clan themselves. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like people growing as people and being independent and creating their own success in their own lane, because that's what they did, and you know that's all they, you know,
Yeah.
that's the example that they set for us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Being able to build with each one of the guards
Mm-hmm.
in our own capacity,
Mm-hmm.
and to develop a rapport in our own capacity. It was a growing experience on another level that, you know, I'm gonna carry forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Facts. Tell me who is the most littest person that on the tour? Who was the most littest, like hyped up, lit?
Hyped up and lit.
Mm-hmm. Like just going at it, had, you know what I mean? Energy just on trill, like.
Oh yeah, the energy. You know, Meth always got the
Well,
most
Meth
energy.
always got the energy, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, tour life.
Oh, tour life. Man, I gotta give it to my OG, and that's because on some real, like we was on military time.
Yeah, well, that's the way it be though.
Yeah, we was. I mean, we would be up at we used to get up at the crack of dawn, make Salat, hit a mile or two walk, be back, hit the push ups, boom 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 on some straight. Was it General Payne, Sergeant Payne? Like Cap is like drill sergeant. Like word up.
Yeah.
Like we done ate breakfast and we done beat everybody to the tour bus. Before they even get to the tour bus, we already there. You know what I'm saying? We at the tour bus. We done put the veggies in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we just, you know, the whole time it was real militant with me and him. So I would have to say Cap's energy is always top notch. When it comes to the road, all business, like
professional.
Very,
that's that Virgo.
Very professional.
Yep.
Very down to the grind.
Yeah.
And that is what helps attribute to the discipline of being able to do this independently.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to know what you got to do. When you get up in the morning, you got to have your tight schedule. Like even now, he still ain't changed. He ain't skipped a beat. He's still the same OG. You know what I mean? Like when me and him talk, it's still big brother, little brother. He still drop, you know, big jewels, and I still got
jewels.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Word.
So
I'm glad you segue in. Talk about independence. Talk about the independence. Talk about what it means to be independent, like what you learned from the clan with their independence, what they have, you know, now how it is. And just you've always been independent and entrepreneurial mindset, but talk about like what it means for artists in this music industry to really be independent. Talk about the good of it, the bad, the struggles, and the rewards. What would you say?
As far as with the clan, being a part of this family?
As far as like just artists in general, like
artists in general,
being independent artists
artists. I'm gonna say this: understand that you are the label. Mm-hmm. You are the marketing department. You are the legal department. You are, or you have to develop it. You're not a label until you have these different departments covered. Mm-hmm. You got to have a marketing and promotions side. You got to have a legal side that handles contracts. You got to have an accounting side that handles accounts receivable and, you know, accounts payable. Mm-hmm. These are just basic business principles that you have to employ. I went back to school over the pandemic. So I'm
Wow.
certified. So I'm certified in international economics and international business now. I'm certified in essential management skills and accounting principles. I did that because there was a lot that I didn't know and understand. I was learning it the hard way. And I said, man, let me get some more refined information on how to handle these matters a little better because I'm losing at what I'm aiming to do. You know, and it's trial and error with some people. And then some people just, it's really a hobby. So they have a label name. You got a name and it's a good name, but you don't have nothing solidified lawfully. Like, is your rap name trademarked? Is your label name trademarked? Is all your material copywritten? Do you have a patent on anything? Do you have a LLC set up? Do you have a trust set up? You know what I mean? There's a lot to business itself to make sure that you as an artist are founded, including a copyright, trademark, and patent on your face, because that's your image and likeness, and that too can be monetized. But if you ain't got a claim to it, you know, they're gonna take pictures of you and do what they want with them. It's their picture. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to this that I've had to learn the hard way. That artists, and then another thing about being independent, you have to make sure that your publishing administration is together. Do you have your publisher set up properly? Because if you're not receiving 12 to 13 statements a month, royalty statements a month, then it's probably not set up correctly. So, you know what I'm saying? Like you got mechanical royalties, you got all kinds of royalties, and there's all kinds of places where
You have to register.
you got to register because it's moving overseas. Hell, it might be moving underwater and in space. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You got to find that medium.
That's the next part.
Right.
Right. Facts.
So
Let's talk about Indie Boom, bro. Let's talk about Indie Boom. Talk about like, you know, what was your motivation like right before you started it? What was the atmosphere? What were you doing? What was your atmosphere? Where were you at in the industry? And what made you go ahead and say, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna do this Indie Boom deal and do this? Talk about that.
Indie Boom was a product of a few different situations that was going on in my private life and business life. In my private life, I was going through some things back home, and I ended up here in Vegas for about 8 months. So that was going on. So I had to move around. I was here, I was in Texas, I was in Louisiana. I was just moving around, trying to make ends meet off of the music. And at that time, I believe that was the time when Cap signed the 8 Diagrams deal with the Klan. So he prompted me and was like, yo, I got to go do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I did everything I could do. You know what I'm saying? As far as what we doing, you got to take the bull by the horns and you got to do your thing, because I got to go and do my thing that I've been doing. And it was a situation where it's like, you know, the master teacher then told the student, like, yo, you got to stand on your own 2 feet now.
Right.
So the independent aspect came from that, and then building with Papa Wu, may rest in power. You know, his pop was like, he said, man, God, he who has the knowledge of self has to complete his cipher and then born his knowledge back into the universe. He who has the knowledge is infinite. Some niggas distill back into their foundation, depending on what current of air they in, and drops of rain, sleet, hail, or snow. So when he dropped the degree on me, he also said, listen, don't, and this is for promoters, because promoters and fans alike, because this has been an issue amongst the family too. Just because we are part of the cipher don't mean go out and try to pimp the brand.
Right.
The brand ain't yours to pimp.
Right.
Not say me, thus saith the conglomerate. It ain't yours. So he's like, yo, develop your own brand. Don't throw no W's on it.
Right.
Develop your own brand. Yes, sir. Move out.
Yes.
So Indie Boom was like, yo, I'm gonna bust it open. I'm gonna bust the game open. I'm gonna go through the roof with this. I'm gonna go indie and I'm gonna go hard. That was the thought process after the conversation. So in the thinking, 76 trillion years ago, Allah created himself in the triple stages of darkness, which was what? The Big Bang Theory. So the boom was the thought process that sparked life into the independence. So that's where the indie boom came from. It's a whole science within itself. Plus the I stands for Islam. It stands for self. The B stands for born. To be or to be complete. So the process of my growth and development was complete. So for all those who got knowledge of self, man, take that, grow off that. And for all those who are 85%, man, listen, go and seek the knowledge of self so you can really elevate and understand and understand what I'm saying. And I just like to thank you, B, for allowing me to put that out there because, you know, it's been a long time coming and it couldn't have happened at a better time for me to throw that into the universe.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
It wouldn't have happened at a better time, and it couldn't have happened on a better platform.
Indeed. On the 3. Understanding, clear picture drawn up in one's own mind. So y'all can see it for what it is and not what it appeared to be.
Absolutely.
Word up.
And I think that's beautiful. And I just really want to thank you for sharing that with me. Sharing that jewel that Papa Wu bestowed upon you.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. May he rest in power.
Indeed.
And you know that's dope. Like I love it. And you know I remember when you started Indie Boom, and I was just like, yo, look at my bro. Like he's taking, like he's doing his thing. You know, let's get into, like you said, you moved to Vegas, so you got Indie Boom. You're over getting settled. You Voice of the Streets.
Voice to the Streets.
Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What's Voice of the Streets? Tell the people about your show and talk about it. The inception, the beauty of it, the birth, all of that. Let's get into it.
In the same vein of Indie Boom and being independent, knowing that the duty of the civilized, the uncivilized. So me giving back to the artists that need a platform. So Indie Boom was that platform, and in that, I know we need radio, we need marketing. We need distribution. We need tours. Remember, I was doing the Indie Boom Explosion tour. I was the first one from my city to do a coast-to-coast independent tour with all independent artists from everywhere.
And you did that in 2014.
Right. 2014. And then I did it again 2015 and 2016.
Yeah.
And that was during the time when I had just linked up with PYN. Shout out to Jimmy Kang and Mook and Shamika and everybody over at PYN and Wu-Tang Radio and everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the platform was the opportunity for me to push what I was doing. And we was able to make merch and go from city to city, 15 cities, 19 shows, 3 years in a row as independents and build our brands grassroots from the ground up. So the radio aspect was giving us, you know, an opportunity to be heard and to get radio play and to learn about radio. So Voice of the Streets was me finding that raw talent and giving them some shine on the radio show amongst the greats, you know, because I play everybody, you know, and then I wasn't even saying, yo, you gotta pay me fees to get in the rotations. I say, yo, just send me your music, and if it's hot, I'ma spin it. If it's not, I'ma send it back to you with a thumbs down and let you know that, like, bro, go back to the lab.
Go back to the drawing board and get it together. Right.
You know, because as artists, I feel like it's important that people be real with us. Like, be real. Like, you know, I need that constructive criticism and that hard hit in order for me to go and become better. So,
and you're never going to get better if you just got yes men sitting around you saying that was hot, that was dope, that's hot, that's dope.
Yeah,
like
real talk.
Come on, like tell me the truth. Like let's get into it. Man. You know,
You know how many verses I had to rewrite sometimes.
Right.
And Cap be like, nah, son.
You got to get it right.
Word up.
They ain't
Cap be like, nah, son, nah, B. I don't like it. It's whack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, tear that shit up. You know what I'm saying? but I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It makes you grow.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I remember the first time he told me, he listened to something I did independently. He looked at me and said, "Yo, you got better." I was like, good looking out. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's peace.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
Word.
All right. Tell us about your so Voice of the Streets. So you guys, so is it just a radio platform? Like, when are you guys on? Where can people hear that at?
Well, Voice of the Streets is just the name of the show. We on Wu-Tang Radio.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting ready for the relaunch with the new launch of Wu-Tang Radio.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on TuneIn, and you can download the app. Please go download that app. Tell a friend to tune the hell in. Download that. And also, I'm gonna be relaunching on Rap Station 365. Uncle Chuck, the legendary Chuck D's network.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on there, and I put the show on pause for a minute because I need to revamp. We did the audio visual side podcast, which is on Spotify, Voice of the Street Show
Mm-hmm.
with Born Divine, aka Davinci, the Voice of the East, and that I did a full 12 episode season. So y'all got a whole season that you can check out on Spotify. Go follow me on Spotify to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna possibly be relaunching that side as well sometime between now and the first of the year.
Okay.
You know, I had to get a new film crew and new engineers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What
about to
people
work
don't
on.
understand about people like us is, and like you say, you had to put things on pause and stuff like that. When you're independent, you don't have like a huge machine behind you just to keep you going and going and going. Plus, you're a human. You have other things going on in life. Everything's not all about music and the industry and stuff like that. So you have family to deal with. You have different aspects that you're balancing and juggling. So for me, like, I cherish the times where I take my breaks from my show. Like, that's what I think makes my show better too and more powerful, because I do it and I give you a good amount to sit with, and then I take a break. Like, you don't need to see me in your face like every day. Like, some people just is overkill to me. You're just like, you on there every day, you in somebody's face every day. Like, don't you have something to go do in life? So, you know, it's imperative that we take those breaks away from that. Plus, you need them breaks so you can go experience life. So
Right.
now you can pour that into the art. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you just running and running, like, you're not giving yourself time to go experience life and really, you know, put that feeling into what you're doing, whether it's writing a song or, you know, doing your show or, you know, or whatever it is, you know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's one of the things that I like too, is that I go out and I do events. Like I roll up on people with the camera, you know, festivals or whatever. Like the paparazzi. It's like they out there, you know. So I try to get out there and get the right individuals on the camera. You know, I've had some pretty dope interviews with some independent business owners and some of the independent artists that are still legendary independent artists though, you know. So yeah, I'm grateful for the process.
Absolutely.
So Voice of the Streets, if there's independent artists that's listening, that's out there that want to get involved, you know, definitely hit me up on any of the social media platforms, you know, and I'll tell you where you can send your music. But I always like to chop it up with the artists and check them out before I say, yo, email me some music. So if you hit my inbox, I'll respond.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. So listen, let's talk about right now hip hop. I want to know, where do you see hip hop in 10 years, and where do you want to see it in 10 years?
10 years. I would like to see hip hop getting paid more for, I mean, and when I say hip hop, I don't mean what I'm saying? I mean, straight boom bap, hip hop, our OGs, the ones who built this whole industry and market share. The elders should get paid more than the young boys. You know what I'm saying? You got these young boys getting $250,000 a show from one artist. Like, I think
And you know what? And some of them can't even fill their seats in that show.
that's what I'm saying.
They
Like,
be having them shows and they be empty.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that my OG deserve to be getting, big bucks for the shows because you're gonna get a hell of a performance.
Right.
Like, I look at the performance and what you giving me for my money. If I'm paying 100 plus a seat or whatever the case, man, you better be good. I want to see you gotta do something like the Temptations. You gotta let the 4 people on one mic or something. You gotta do something slick. But I've watched the performances, and that's like when you like I said, when you behind the scenes and you get to watch it. Imagine you in the crowd and you seeing Red and Meth perform, but when you behind them and you watching them perform, it's a whole different situation. Like, you looking at them do the magic trick, but you might hear them talking about the magic trick before they go out there. And you like, man, they not going. I don't know they're gonna pull that one off.
Right,
and then you watching them pull it off, and you like, yo, how do they do that? You know what I'm saying?
I remember Meth and Red's show in Philly, and Meth broke some ribs when he tried to jump off the stage, and I forget how he did it, but he jumped and he just fell, yo. And he was like, yo, he got back on the stage. He was like, yo, hey, catch me. It was crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. I remember I seen him in Jersey one time, Atlantic City. I think that was probably the best Meth performance I ever seen. And it was just him. It wasn't even him and Red together this time. So, I mean, I would like to see hip hop get paid and get more credit for the foundation. And I also would like to see the Hip Hop Alliance. Shout out to the Hip Hop Alliance. I would like to see more investment in the Hip Hop Alliance, spearheaded by the OGs, KRS-One and MC Light.
My birthday twin.
Right. You feel me? So it's like they spearheading the Hip Hop Alliance, so that because hip hop, for rappers, we don't have a pension plan, we don't have retirement, 401k, but we deserve it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would like to see the Hip Hop Alliance grow, and for brothers and sisters to really come together and push. And I would also like to see some legislation in a couple different areas where hip hop is not placed as the black sheep of the music industry. You know what I mean? When we contribute very well to the market share of a multi-billion-dollar industry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, really, our culture runs the industry, really.
That's what I'm saying, but we don't get that.
It's in the Olympics next
Yeah.
year. So
we on everything.
Yeah.
Commercials, movies, we everywhere. But
everywhere.
We don't.
You can't even watch a movie now without a hip hop song in it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't care what the movie's about. There's nothing that flows without hip hop. And I think that in certain cities, for instance, there's such a bad stigma here in Nevada, in Las Vegas, for ever since Tupac got killed in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? There's actual laws in place, and there's actual task force and all of these for artists that are chasing behind us as artists for no apparent reason. You know what I mean? The stuff that's going on in Atlanta, where they're taking statements off of a song and trying to use them to indict people, So you mean to tell me? So then a movie writer, a person that writes a movie, and it's fiction or it's based upon a true story, should get locked up too? Then, if that's the case,
right?
Straight up, you got to go indict the writer of Scarface. You know what I mean? The writer of The Godfather.
All those Goodfellas,
all of those
all that.
movies. It's like, so y'all allowed to talk about gangster stuff, but we can't talk about gangsters, or we can't make stuff up. We can't, embellish
Right.
some of the things that we may have witnessed in the hood, or even had knowledge of, or
Right.
or heard on the news.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because artists write music from different perspectives,
Right.
and sometimes it's not always
Based on a personal experience.
right. Sometimes it's based on somebody else's experience that they grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
you don't know, but in the end, it's like a book writer. A book writer writes a novel about murder, so now you're gonna go lock him up for murder?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So you're right. I think that's good, that you're saying you would like to see legislation passed to kind of, I mean, I know they had some legislation on the table about that when that was going on with that rapper. I think it was Young Thug, that they used his rhymes against him for that RICO charge that he caught.
Yeah, California has legislation in place
Yeah.
right now, but
Yes, California.
it needs to go federal,
right,
and be national, so that
just like this needs to go federal. Cut the check.
Right.
Give us our damn money.
You already know.
Yeah.
And they also needs to be, reform on these rogue ass cops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
Well,
need
I
to
bet
go
if they
down
start
too.
holding their ass accountable and making their pensions be the fund that pays out the victims, I bet you their ass will stop doing it then.
Yeah. But see, I'm going to tell you what they have. They have different organizations that are formed by family and friends, like the Police Protection Association and the Fraternal Order of Police. These are nonprofits where they raise money. And the people that they raise the money from are people that are the ones that they really work for.
Exactly. The ones that they're protecting and serving.
You're right.
And we know that ain't us.
It definitely ain't us. So I'm I would just like to see some legislation in hip hop's favor to keep it 100 when it comes to us as writers and artists,
right,
and keeping these people out of our face and out of our business, because it's like, I can publish music under multiple names if I want. Those are my trade names, and that's my business.
Right.
So that's what I would like to see in the next 10 years or less.
That's a great answer.
Or thank you.
A great answer.
I appreciate you.
So tell us what you got coming up next, bro, because coming to a close, because Instagram will kick us off of here after. They did that to my last show. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, damn, I went a little over my hour. They kicked me off.
Wow.
They crazy on here. That's why I don't be playing this social media too close no more.
Right.
So what you got next coming, bro?
I got the relaunch, of course, of Voice of the Street Show on Wu-Tang Radio and Rap Station 365, as well as Media Made. I also am in the process, for any promoters out there, we putting together the 4 Kingz tour. That's myself, Judah Priest, Chi King, and Prodigal Son. So, hit me up for booking information, because we working on that. The Wrath of the Titans project is out right now, featuring everybody: Infamous Mob, Capadonna, Ant Live, Roscoe Deep from DPG, North Philly Heisman. My man North Philly Heisman is on the joints going bonkers. It's deep. Got Solomon Childs on there, Judah Priest on there. I got Bishop Lamont on there from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So we just doing our Thug Thizzle with that project. And then I got a couple hot singles coming out about to drop. As a matter of fact, No Pressure, No Diamonds is about to drop between this week and next week. So that's a single dropping. Angels and Demons with my man OGLs is out right now. That just dropped. The video is exclusively on his website, so that's out. Please check that out. And Backstabbers, the single, coming soon. So that's gonna drop here shortly. And I'm working on another project. I'm back in the lab. I'm grinding, and show bookings hit me up. I'm on it.
That's